Good evening. My name is Wahid Lutfi. In this video, I'm going to show you basically a number of uh, options that you have for learning. Basically, I'll teach you the operating system, Linux, Windows operating system, Python programming, Jupyter Notebook, all, Python modules all together in one video. And it's going to be short video. It's not going to be long video. As you can see on the front end, I have logged on onto the collab.research.google.com, which is the collaboration Jupyter Notebook for Google page. And then I have already written like a 12 lines program that is just basically using a command list, which is a list of Linux commands. You can just see the list as each item is a Linux command, like cat etc os release will just show you the operating system. This is going to show you the information on Unix, information on the system, print working directory, ID, calendar, echo, Linux, and Python are cool. And then I'm also checking on the font style. Previously, I checked that it was not installed, so I used this bang pip install font style. And once it is installed, now I can import font style. Because at some point, I'm going to just, for each command that I type in, I want to change the color on Python, the color of the text. So for each command that I'm reading from this list, I'm just changing the color of it. And as you can see here on the command here, the command is there, and then I'm changing it to bold. I italicize it, and the color is green and black background, so it is not showing here as a color. But if I want to change it to a white color, for example, as a background, I have that option. And I can just write that detail here and then run it again, and it will just change it. And then since the light green does not work with it, I can say dark blue, for example. So the dark blue is also a color that is understood, but here it is not seeing it. So I'm going to type in blue, and then I'll just try that one, and it takes blue. And then similarly, if I just want to change it to black, I can do that, and then it is just that color is going to do it. So let's just go back to green. I really like that color, and then the background is black, dark black background. So when we run this one, it is going to do this. But before I do explain some of these outputs here, I want to introduce you to a combination of Python module font style, which I'm doing this kind of option, as well as the OS module. The OS module, I'm loading it, and I'm using the os.process open. So I open a process as a stream, and then whatever the command I'm getting into the for statement here, I'm just going to execute them, and then run the stream. And then once the stream is there, I read the entire stream, and then later on print the output right here. But I'm doing a new line character, so I get some space between them. And notice that here, when I'm doing etcos release file, this is the output, and then the top is bold face here. Similarly, for uname-a is just showing the output right here. Similarly, for the print working directory, the /content is showing, and then the ID, since collab.research.google Jupyter Notebook is very generous. It allows you to have your own root on your VM that you're using it, which is also free. You're welcome to just practice it online and learn the most out of it. And then if you look at this command, you can see that when I run the ID, I was able to even do some pip install modules. So I could install it. Last time I showed you for the New Year how to do the installation of Figlets, and how to run the banners for Happy New Year for 2023. So here I'm running the calendar command, and then also the last command says echo Linux and Pythons are cool. And you can see the output is showing right here. So these options of italicized green and colors and everything, you can just change it to whatever color you want. It is allowing you those options. And here I'm using the fstring kind of options. So I pass in within the braces the arguments that I want to print later on. Similarly, on the line 12, I'm using that also. So it is much nicer because the fstring allows you to run your command as well as get the output from whatever. So right here, if I just, instead of this one, let's write some other command like uname -o for operating system Linux GNU. And then since we did the uname -o, we can just also say uname --help or -kernel -kernel name or something. This information you are not limited to do whatever you want. So you could run whatever command you do, Python --version or pip --version. And then let's say for instead of calendar, we say pip a list. And then we could also say, we already said this one equal, this is cool. We could just, let's just run another command, say ls, to see if there's any ls-l, any file on the content directory that I have. So if you just run this command here, you can see that it is just replacing those arguments. And now you basically are learning the Unix operating system as well as Python. So with Python, you're just running this command and it gives you the output, and uname --help is giving you this. And then the next command I did was Python --version, and it shows the version of Python. Similarly for a pip version, similarly for a pip list, and it shows all the packages that are listed, and also font size most likely is right here. Font size is showing that I just installed that one. And then once you get that one, the last command was pip list and ls-l. So ls-l should be on the bottom of this list right here, and then there's one sample data there, and that is what I have. So if I just take the pip list, because it was huge, and the information instead of that one, I could just say show me the GCC version, GCC version, or do another one with G++ for C++ version. So you can get those information as well. And you can see that right now I got the Python version, the pip version, the GCC version. So imagine how cool it is. It's just you're writing a few lines of code, but you can get the entire information. So like, for example, if I want to just get even a man page on the man minus, let's say minus S print S3 printf statement. So imagine if I'm just running these commands, and I'm going to remove this one because it's a lot of output. So I'm going to just run a few of them. Now you have the man pages here. As you can see, the man page for the printf statement in section 3. You can see, well, in addition to the other commands. So it is your options are unlimited. I basically am doing like the entire book that I wrote in the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. I could just put my arguments here and then just generate the entire book, writing one program to generate the book. Similarly, the way I did about 66,000 technical documentation for manual pages of Mac, Unix, and then Linux and PowerShell and Windows that I showed you on other videos. And the documentation is there. You just have to format it for the web so people could just use a browser and then internet access and read all this documentation without being set in front of a operating system like Linux or Windows or something. So you might just say, how do I do this one on Windows? It's very easy. Here's the program that I wrote for Windows. So look at the program, the same code, except the arguments from the output is coming, it has to be Windows valid command. Since I'm running Windows machine, I started the Jupyter Notebook on the command line here. Basically, you type in Jupyter Notebook, space Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Space Lab or Jupyter Notebook, and you will start the program. Once you start it, it runs on the local host port 8888, like it's right here. And then here you could just say run it, and then you get the output of these commands. So let me just dismiss this one. I'm going to delete this one and delete this one. I don't need this, and then get the focus on this one, then run it. And it should give me the output soon. Server connection error, a connection to Jupyter server not established. So something on the Jupyter Notebook is not working right now. What I could do is just right here, close this directory here, and then let me see if on the other command line that I have, most likely I closed it, and that closed the session. So I'm going to just start a Jupyter Lab. This is how you do it. Basically, you just run Jupyter Lab, and it's going to open Jupyter Lab on port 888, which is this one. And then the code that I have here, I'm going to transfer it on the other one and close this tab. So once this one is up and running, so this is telling you that Jupyter Lab on localhost port 888 is there. If you start the second one, is automatically is going to go to 8889 and then so on. One more port that is available. So here I'm going to say Python 3, the kernel, to start my code, and then I could just shrink this one a little bit. And then once this one is done, let's just transfer all the code here. I'm going to just say cancel this and then Control C out of this, and then paste it on this one right here. And then I don't need this one anymore. I'm going to say leave that one. So the one that is here, I'm going to just say run it, because this one is active. As you can see that it is on localhost 8. And then the first command is already run. The second command, because it is running system information find /i OS name, it was a little bit time consuming, like 5 seconds or a little bit more. Then and the other commands that I say is Linux is cool, Linux and Python are cool, and they're just showing. The directory commands are showing here. And then if you are just done with it, you just basically use it. Here in the 3 command, let's see, the 3 command should be showing also. So this is the last one, and let me just see what is going on here. It is slow. And then I'm going to just take the other commands out. So I can only run the dir command and only the dir command, and then the 3 command. Those 2, because 3 is really long. So dir is also long. So I'm going to say host name, and then host name, we should show this desktop here. We know that we are on the local host. Okay, so this cell I have to delete. This cell I have to delete, and this cell now has focus. You can see I can just run that one, and somehow the Jupyter Notebook is maybe hanging because of the 3 command. I think that is what is happening here. But if I just say dir on the current directory where I am, and that should be an easy command to run. Import font style. So I'm going to just restart the kernel because it looks like when this happened, you have to restart the kernel. So right here, it says on the kernel, and then you just say, yeah, start the preferred kernel. And now you see the output is coming because somehow it was the kernel that was taking a long time. So a host name is there, the dir name is command is there, the directory. But if I just change this directory to something else on Windows, for example, let's do system info or just system info is okay. I'm going to say make directory test1. So since I'm on that directory, then I'm going to do another command after that one, say dir of test1 to see if test1 got created. And then at the same time, I could say just run the dir command to see whatever was the content of that file. Afterward, it should run. So you can see hostname run, and then the make dir command run, but there's no output because $? is normally successful. So test1 is created, and right here you can see test1 is 0 byte. And then when we do a dir, now we're seeing everything there. Since I'm on the directory of where I started here, that directory was the default one. Whatever directory I started, that would show the current directory of that one, which is users Wahid, since I started here. If I want to see something like outside of that one, the directory test1, for example, here I could just change one of these commands. Let's say I could just say show me directory of programs, and then /python/ that's it. And so programs and this. So I don't want to make any directory anymore, and then run these two commands, hostname and then programs Python. Under the programs, I have Python, and under Python, I have Jupyter. So let's see if we see the directory. You can see hostname, dir Python, and then under Python, we have these other ones. One of them is Jupyter, I believe, somewhere here. It should be right here, Jupyter. So if I just look at the content of Jupyter directory, here I just say Jupyter. And then look at the Jupyter directory here. So if I want to see the this file command_run.py, I could also say, okay, now I know that it is there. And instead of this one, I could say type, and then I could say /cmd_run.py, or I could just use Notepad to open it. This one type it just types it on the screen here for you. So you can also do like a command, for example, here, like open a calculator. But since you're local to the machine, you have access, whether you type in calc here or something, or the program that you start, or just use it programmatically to open it, it does that. And then notice that now these commands are going to run. Let me just refresh the kernel. Sometimes a little bit time consuming. So the way this thing is working, if I just do another one, I could just say calc here, and then I could just say run the calculator here, and that should open the calculator. Similarly, I could say os.system, and then just open up, run the command like calculator or dir or notepad or something. And then this one should just run the os.open. And then here, whatever you run the command, these are all valid, whether you use pros open and other ones. So let me just look at here. Similarly, you could just say, for example, run these ones. If I just comment everything here, or just remove it, or just let's say open another prompt code here, and then I just say give me another code here, and then right here I'm going to just say delete this one, and then come down. Let me just minimize these windows. There's too many here. Your output screen. I want to just save that this window for future kind of like thumbnail stuff. So okay, I'm going to just go here first, and then get rid of this, and then just go on the top right here. So like if I just want to run another command here, I could just say this and then do a pwd. That would work. At the same time, I could just say, and instead of pwd, I could say os.system, and then just run the command pwd here as the argument of that one. And then I could just run this one, and would get me the pwd command. Unexpected error token pwd. So os.system. Oh yeah, because I'm no longer using that one. I have to do Python code. So this would just run. But notice that this one is not allowing you to os.system.print working directory. So instead of this one on the Jupyter notebook, if you do this one, you need to open a process stream. So you say stream is equal os.process open. And so you open the process, and then you say read, let's say output is equal s.read, stream.read. So I'm just saying S for short for a stream.read, and then we just say print output. Now the system $?0 meaning successful, but now you're seeing the content of it. If you change that one to a ls-l, and there it will just run that command. And I showed you here a number of options with the list, so you're not doing it, but I'm just showing you how you could just do one command or 100 commands. So if you do here like gcc -- version, or just uppercase V, let's say you could just run that one. It will just show you the output if the output is successful. If it is not there, lowercase v, let's see if automatically uppercase should have done it, but let's see why it didn't do it. So you could just say -- version, and it will give you the output. Yeah. But with Python, like if you're looking at Python, --uppercase V would work. --uppercase V would work. And similarly, so Python, I have to write in lowercase, sorry. Python is there. And then if you're looking for which Python you have version of it, you say which Python, and then you could see that Python 3 is there, or Python 2 is there. So you could see that both of them are pointing to the same version. So whether you say Python 3 -- version and -- version, or Python -- version, you will get the same output of 3.8, because one of them might be symbolic link, or maybe the executable is still pointing to that one. So you could say, like, for example, which Python 3, and then if you just get the path of it, you can just say ls-ld user ben Python 3, and you could get that output saying that this is symbolic link to etc alternative Python 3. And similarly, if you say what is the type of binary or text or something, so it says is user this. So if I just say more, If this one is executable, then it will not work. Not a text file. You can see that it is there. It's not a text file, so you cannot do that one. If I just say LDD for it to get the shared list of objects, now you can see that all the shared list of objects that are related to Python 3, because it's executable. So when you do a file on it, it shows that this is executable file here. I'm sorry. Just run it here, and then you could see that is file user bin. So unfortunately, this one is not showing here. What you could do is try, and instead of doing all this thing, and just use the OS command. See if that allows you, and then don't use this, and then don't do this. So now you're running a OS command, and it says file not found. So this file command on Linux, it should have been there, but it is not showing, and it is showing that it is there. So you can use the type command, but normally if you're on a Linux machine, so clear the screen. This is another Ubuntu machine. As you can see here, cat etc os-release. This is my web server for my web university for education videos that I'm showing you. So if I say which Python 3, you can see file user bin Python 3. It tells you that it's a symbolic link to Python 3.8. So if I say ls-ld user bin Python 3, and then I just say, okay, that is the alternative. So I could say now user bin Python 3 was that, but user bin ls, if I do file on 3.8, because that one was symbolic link, you can see it's a executable link format 64-bit. That's what it was. So that's why when you do LDD, all the shared objects that are related to it, it's there. So the Python interpreter, Python 3.8, will also just get you into the Python, and then you can do that one, or just Python 3 will get you that one, and then Python would also take you there. So quit there. You can type in exit or quit, doesn't matter. So you can just see that it is there. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. I'm going to end this video here, and then I'll just post this information and along with this information. So in this session, to recap, I taught you how to write a Python program to get OS related commands, as well as packages names, as well as install software on the OS if you have permission, like root, and then also on the Linux as well as Windows, as well as showed you how to do some like font style kind of modules. If you don't have it, you can install it and you can practice with it with those fonts, so you can have different coloring scheme there. And when you're done with this one, you can just say delete this one, and just only have this one available here. And then when you run this one, it just gave you the output here. So I'm going to post this one as the thumbnail of this. The man page is a lot, so I'm just going to just show you up to here. And then and that would be the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, so I could just make changes based on your needs, to make sure if I need to do some improvement on the videos, I'll do so, but I need some comments on the notes, or just comment section, and then I'll make the improvement. Take care. God bless you all. Bye.